to a kind of like restorative, relaxing stretch. This is a practice to do at nighttime when your energy is calming down. If you're the type of person that can do like a calming exercise in the middle of the day, by all means, but my vision is that this would be for nighttime. We will use the strap and we'll be on our back for a lot of the practice. You might want to have some things around, like the strap. You could have a strap, or you could have a scarf, or even a hand towel. If you had a hand towel, you could like fold it diagonally and roll it so you have as much length as possible. I've done that in a pinch, but a strap is handy, a blanket is handy, and some sort of bolster pillow situation will be handy. Let's start in a butterfly position. So when we're doing a butterfly position in restorative movement, we're not going to bring the heels all the way in toward the groin. You know, like it's really common when we're doing, exercise to draw the heels close in toward the groin. We're going to create more of this diamond shape. And then not even really have the goal of touching the feet, just to allow the knees to start to drop down and to gradually allow the adductor muscles to release their grip. And then just allow yourself to sit tall and soften your eyes. You can keep your eyes open or you can let them close all the way. But just soften the gaze and start to drop in to your shape. And allow yourself to really feel the sensations. We could be uncomfortable, and we're feeling that. We're feeling that with equanimity, that it is what it is, and we're not going to necessarily change this discomfort in this very moment. We're being present for the discomfort. And I like to think of this poem. I can't remember who it was. It might be a David White poem, but there's a poem that has this whole story. But the part that really resonates with me is that you treat the sensations as you would an uninvited guest to your house. And so you kind of like invite the guest over, like, oh, I'm surprised to see you. I don't really want you here right now, but you're not going to be unkind and like shoo them away. You're going to like offer them a seat and maybe give this guest some water, and you're going to treat them with kindness. And this is the same way we're treating our body throughout this restorative practice. There's going to be times that you might want to push away the sensation. You might want to say, go away. You're not welcome here. But the practice is to greet the sensations, that they are here for a reason. As the saying goes, we have issues in our tissues, and so we will acknowledge the sensations and allow them to pass. And then we'll have another sensation come in and we'll allow it to pass. So now we've been here for a little bit of time. Notice if the hips have released any of their grip. And then we're going to extend the legs straight. And we're going to play around with what a forward fold feels like. So forward folds can sound real easy, and then they can get real complicated real fast. So in a forward fold, we want to keep our legs as straight as possible, but we can also have the knees bent if it feels like you can't do any forward folding. So when we're forward folding, I'm going to go to the side so you can watch what my spine is doing, because we want to get flexion at the hips. The point of the forward fold is to flex the hips to get the belly to lay onto the thighs. So if we're in forward fold and we're here, that's not a forward fold. That's a rounding of the spine. Totally different objective. What we're trying to do is get up onto the sits bones so you can feel the pelvis has this tilt. We're getting up onto the sits bones so the pelvis is in a neutral position. It's actually perpendicular with the ground. Lots of people have to bend their knees here. This is when our props come in handy. And then you can lean your belly towards your thighs. And then leaning even deeper on your exhale. On your inhale, you get up nice and tall. And then your exhale, you start to lean over the legs. So the first objective of the forward fold is to seal the belly over the thighs. And then once that's happening, then we can start to unfurl the rest of the spine and let the spine drape down. And so this is one of the, I'm just moving my props. You can keep your props there if they're working for you. But the idea of this shape is to relax your nervous system. By putting the face down and chin down, you're telling your nervous system that it's time for rest and digest. You know, and you can keep adjusting yourself. Like, we don't need to stay in a static forward fold. I like to wiggle my feet around when I'm in forward fold. You can have your feet hip width distance. I have a blanket here. Sometimes I collect my head with my hands. And just see if you can witness your experience. I kind of hover on above your body as this witness. And just keep breathing. Keep allowing your inhales to be this like invigorating breath where there's this idea that this idea of entering into an unknown, like possibilities on the inhale. And then on the exhale, getting a little bit more heavy, releasing, more of this letting go sensation. Listen for the sound of your breath. Allow the breath to be a focal point. And then we'll place the hands on either sides of the legs, and we're going to push the spine to be straight and the arms straight. And then exhale, let the body lower again. Inhale, round the spine up. And then exhale, fold forward. We'll do this about 3 more times. You're inhaling for the rounding. And then exhale, hinging forward. One more time, round your spine up. And exhale, hinge your way down. And then last time to come up, we're going to be in a staff position. So this is our staff position. This is a starting position, a foundational shape for movement practice. Let's see what it's like to use the strap in our staff position. So we're going to put the strap around the balls of the feet. So that's just below the toes, not on the arches. And then we're going to wrap the strap around the hands if you have a strap, or maybe you're just gripping the edge of a towel or something. You can try your feet together. You can have your feet apart. For me, it works better to have my feet together. And I'm spreading out my toes. And then I'm gonna engage in my pelvis and engage in my core to draw my elbows in toward my side body. And I'm just trying to create an L shape with my body. Keep flexing your feet, soften your knees, and hold this for 3 breaths. Keep rolling your shoulders forward, up and back. One more breath here. Okay, so we're going to take this same exact shape that we're in right now, but we're going to be on our back. So I'm trying to think, should we do that next, or should we do a little twist? Yeah, I think we're going to get right down onto our back. So let's go onto the back nice and easy. So put your strap over to the side, and when you're getting onto your back, we're getting down to our back intentionally, right? So we're going to position ourselves in the middle of our mat. Make sure your feet are at the edge, at the bottom of your mat, and then slowly lower yourself down. So fingers are pointing in towards your hips, and you're in this kind of like beach pose. I call this the beach pose, where you're hanging out, just got nothing else to do. So you're watching the waves, and you're going to beam your chest forward, and then you're going to bend at your elbows, and then slowly round your spine. So I'm going to try to get my sacrum to tap down onto the floor first. So I'm carving out my lower belly, and then I'm going to let the rest of my spine go down, lowering down onto my elbows. And then I'm slowly going to do this like little elevator ride down, all the way down. The head is going to be the last thing. Strong belly to get you down there. Okay, so we made our way down intentionally. We want to be really, really thoughtful about how we transition in our movement practice. So here we are, feet are down, knees are hip width distance, feet are hip width distance. Let's put our hands down by our side body. Let's just do a few pelvic tilts. So we're rocking the pelvis. We're kind of dipping the pubic bone down, and the tailbone is rooting down toward the ground. And then we're going to do the opposite. We're rolling the pelvis up, where the pubic bone is going up toward the ceiling or even your face. but your hips are staying down the whole time. So just a little pubic or pelvic rock. Just kind of find where neutral is, find where you're doing an arched back. You don't want to have a place, when we do this exercise, we're not going to have a tent in our lower back. We want to make sure our lower back is sealed on the mat. Okay, so now we have a neutral spine. On an exhale, pick up the feet, draw the knees in towards your chest, grab onto your shins, and hug the knees in toward your body. You can let your knees go wide out towards your shoulders. You can keep your knees in. And let's stick the legs up toward the sky, toward the ceiling, and make some circles at the ankles. Some circles the other direction. Spread out your little toesies. And then wiggle the feet. Really flick the feet. Flick the legs. Okay. And now we're going to grab the strap. We're going to hook the strap around the balls of the feet. Just like we had. So now we're back into that staff position, but now we're in a supine position. Supine staff. Legs up. This is a fantastic shape. Like if there's one shape to do every day, it's this. This is like the middle of the day, the 3 p.m. You wanna take a nap when you don't have time. Do this. Because this is the mimicking of like legs up the wall. You might have heard of legs up the wall. It's really great for your circulation. It's great for your mood. It's great for your lymphatic system. It's a good stretch for your hamstrings. It's like a body, mind, spirit, like a little espresso. And so notice that my hips are staying rooted. I'm not rolling my hips up. I'm keeping my tailbone down. And then there's no tenting in my lower back because I want to keep my lower back safe. And I want to keep my core semi-engaged. Okay, now we're going to play around with this. We're going to open up the strap. It depends on your strap actually. So maybe we won't do this because I have a really long strap, so I just got inspired to do that. But you can open your legs all the way if you have a long strap. You can play with like a little happy baby. So we want to kind of like make friends with this strap. Now can we move our feet around and let the strap give us a little resistance in our stretch? And then feet together, knees down toward your face. You can pull the legs in using the strap. And take a deep breath. Okay, now legs come back up, and we're going to keep just the right leg in the strap. The right foot's going to stay in the strap. The left foot's going to go down. So if you have any lower back pain, discomfort in your lower back, sciatica, piriformis syndrome, maybe you keep your foot down. If you have no lower back pain, maybe you relax your leg onto the ground straight. And so the first thing we're going to do here is to get into the IT band. So you're going to keep your foot flexed. And you're going to actually kind of like pivot. What is this? A pivot? It's like turning your big toe down. And then you're using the strap. So I have my right leg up and my left hand is on the strap. Right hand's just going to go down by the side. And I'm going to guide my right leg across my midline with my big toe pointing down. And that's getting into the outside edge, this whole outside edge of my right leg. So it's not a twist. Maybe you feel it in the outer ankle. Maybe you feel it in your outer calf, your outer thigh. And the right hand, if it's looking for something to do, it can go into that hip socket to kind of root down the right side of your hip so it's not flying up. And just breathing into this subtle sensation. This is not a huge stretch. It's not meant to be a huge stretch. It's to get into all those little nooks and crannies. Take another deep breath here, inhaling through the nose. And the breath out goes through the nose as well. Okay, inhale, the leg comes back up to neutral. And now we're switching hands. Now we got right hand, right leg hooked up with the strap. And now we're going to go out. And let's see if I hit this piece of furniture. Oh, just about. Okay, I'm going to scoot over because this is like the best. Going out. This is one of my favorite shapes. So now I'm just going out. My foot is staying in the same plane as my hip. And it's getting into that inner thigh muscle, the adductor. And this is where the left hand can really push down on the left side of your hip so that your left side of your hip doesn't go up. And I like to keep my left foot flexed. And then again, I'm just breathing into where I'm feeling the sensation. You know, we're practicing discernment with the sensations that we're feeling. There's sensations that may be worrisome or maybe problematic, but usually you get a different kind of signal about those sensations. Other than that, we're just welcoming those sensations in. That's what this practice is all about, is feeling and connecting with our body. And then we're going to pick that leg up, and we're guiding it with the strap. The hand and the strap, it's all giving it that perfect little Goldilocks tension where it's all working together as a team. I'm going to shimmy myself back into the middle of my mat. Okay, and now we get the twist. So I like to wrap the strap around my hand because we don't want to do like a death grip with our fingers. And then we're guiding that leg all the way over this time for a deep twist. That foot's going to go flopped over to your opposite side. And the opposite arm extends out, and maybe you relax the strap, maybe you hold closer to the foot. And the face looks wherever you want it to look. You can look at the foot, you can look at the hand. Where does it feel nourishing to let your head drop and gaze? You can keep your eyes closed. And this is when we take the big belly breath. This is great for digestion. It's great for your nervous system. And you're pivoting in the middle part of your torso, wringing out your digestive organs, like you're wringing out a wet rag. So deep belly breath, inflating and letting go of all of that stale air on your exhale. You can sigh, you can have audible sound to your breath. And then first we're going to think about coming out of this shape. So first we're like alert, and then we're going to exhale and tighten the belly. And then now that we're all tight and secure in our core, we're going to bring that leg all the way back up. And switching hands. Actually, let's grab both hands on the strap. Let's soften that knee so we have a little bit of give in our shape here. And then the left foot is meeting the right back into the strap. We're going to switch spots. Left foot's now in and right foot is down. And again, ask yourself which is more appropriate. Foot down, knee up, or right leg completely extended. And just take a moment to make sure your left foot is adjusted. The strap is at the ball of the foot. It is not on the arch. Okay, and then the first round was to hold it with the opposite hand. So now I have left leg up, right arm, and right hand is holding my strap. And I'm going to tilt my, I'm going to rotate, turn, I still don't have the right word for that, turn the big toe down, and then the leg's going over through your midline toward the opposite side of your body. And this, usually I feel this majorly in my IT band. Today, I'm like only feeling it in my calf, the side of my calf and my ankle. So that's interesting. You know, it's like every day our body is different. So it's another good, it's another good reason to practice regularly, because you notice that everything changes. It's all changing constantly. The body is never the same. Every day the practice feels different. Just notice what's coming up for you today. Deep breath in and out of your nose. One more breath here. Okay, now the leg's going to come up. We're going to switch hands. Now my left hand is holding the strap with my left foot. And I'm going to slowly, so I'm holding the strap nice and taut, so my leg's not just flopping down. I want to guide it. I'm guiding my leg out and open and down toward the ground. A lot of us might be here. You know, if you're here, your leg's at like a 45-degree angle, use your elbow as a kickstand. Like find ways to like do little like physics alignment with your body and be like, okay, my elbow is gonna prop out and that's gonna help hold the leg. Or your elbow hugs in toward your side body and the leg goes all the way down. And keep flexing your feet. Right hand can be holding right side of your pelvis down. You can even notice like in my body I feel a lot of opening on my right side too. So it's not only like one side of your body, one thing at a time. There's lots of multitasking happening in these shapes. Deep breath. Focusing on the exhale. Ensure you're letting all your air out. This is a restorative breath to help the nervous system stay soothed. So when we're getting into all the subtle tissues, that's governed more by your parasympathetic nervous system. Okay, so on an inhale, let's come up. Switch hands. Exhale, send that foot over to the other side. Now we're getting into the twist. Going as far over as it can go, or wants to go. You have to get a little closer to you to let that happen. Okay. Oh, that's nice. So now the hips are kind of perpendicular with the shoulder. That's like the goal place. That might not be happening today, but that's the vision. You know, if left shoulder's kind of up, like let it be up. If left arm wants to take this goalpost, kind of cactus shape. Now you kind of want to be nice to the body and just allow it to be where it feels nourished. Belly breath. You're doing your balloon breathing. Breath is in the belly and the breath releases out of the belly. Take one more complete cycle of breath here. On your next inhale, you're going to contemplate that you're coming out. Okay, so now you're going to exhale, belly tightens, and on that tight belly where everything's integral in the pelvis, you're lifting the left leg back up to starting. And then grabbing onto the strap with both hands again, opening the strap, bending the knees, sliding both legs underneath the strap again. Legs are back up into that staff position. And then bend the knees, release the strap. You can ditch the strap, we don't need that anymore. And now shimmy yourself back into the middle of your mat. Let's bring the knees in toward the chest and take little circles at the knees. I think of this as like the little witch is stirring her pot, her magic potion. The pelvis is on the floor, and we're switching directions. And we're going to extend the legs straight, one leg at a time. Put the feet down, and then one leg goes extended, and then the other leg goes extended. So we're being easy on the lower back. We're being gentle with our body. Now we're going to make like a big pencil shape. So this is going to be our final shape. We call it like a banana or a half moon, but we start out in this long pencil, stretching out the body. And now we're going to walk the feet over. So ankles and legs are all staying down on the mat, but they're just walking over to the left corner of your space. And then your hands are going to do the same thing. Your hands are going over toward the left corner. So you just made like a half moon shape with your body, or a banana, however you want to visualize it. But everything's still down. All my joints are still down on the ground. And I'm crossing right ankle over left ankle. And then left hand is going to grab onto right wrist and give a little traction on the right side. My chin is dropped in toward my left shoulder. And I'm breathing into my right side body, getting this deep stretch in the rib cage, in the belly, in the waist, on the sides of the legs, underneath the armpit. Big belly breath. In and out of the nose. And then releasing, coming back through center. Getting that pencil shape, long body, point your fingers, point your toes. And then exhale over toward the right side, left ankle crosses over right ankle, right hand grabs onto left wrist, grab the wrist and give it a little pull, a little traction. And the chin drops down toward right shoulder. And just breathe into the left side of your body. Finish off that cycle of breath with an exhale. And then on an inhale, come back to how we started, little pencil shape, long body. And then arms are going to reach up toward the ceiling. Rotate the wrists. We're going to let our arms go down, float down by your side, body palms face up. And then articulate the shoulders. So you have space in your shoulders, space between your arms and your side body. And you're going to separate your feet a little bit so your feet are wider than your hip width distance. And this is our final resting shape. And just laying to let it all assimilate in our body. Everything we just did, all the stretching, all the meditating, all the breathing. Just let that all soak into your body. You can stay in this position as long as you want. You can stay here and meditate a few minutes. You can stay here and breathe. But I suggest staying here for at least 3 breaths. When you're ready to come out, roll your body into a little ball and over to the side, and then use your top arm to press yourself up. And I'm coming back into a seated position. Come back to your breath, let your head drop down, rolling your head side to side. And then head stacks up on top, bring your hands to your heart. And thank yourself for taking the time to practice. Thank you.